Hello, hello. Hi, it's Miss Tracy. I'm so excited to be here tonight to share a Christmas craft with you gals. What I'm going to be showing you tonight, girls, I'm beginning to think it's been like the most requested tutorial, how-to, whatever you want to call it, demo. The most requested one that I think I've gotten all year long. And it's these adorable folded trees. They are so stinking cute. And when I show you how to make them, you're gonna be like addicted like me, and you're just gonna wanna make them all over all the things. They're so cute. First off, I shared them in a couple of my private membership groups, and enough people are starting to see them now that I'm just getting on onslaught of requests to like, show me these trees. So this is what I want you to do for me, because this specific tutorial, this is the only time or the last time I'll share it live. So this would be a great time right now before we get started to push that little share button. Your little share button there. If you want to push that and share this video, this Facebook Live with your crafty friends and family, I would love for you to do that, because I'm going to be showing you how to create this beautiful folded Christmas tree. It's so pretty. Now this one is made from hymnal pages. Let me tell you a little bit about myself. I love all forms of creative play. I really do. I love all forms of creative play, and I love paper, and I love Christmas. So this particular little craft, yes, I see the heart shooting up. This particular craft, I think you're really going to enjoy it. So first I want to show you a few different ways that I've used these trees. Okay, so obviously the first way, let me show it here again. The first way I'll show you is this is on a chipboard tag. Now this particular size I think is great, because this would be so cute to be on packaging, right? It could be on a gift that you're giving. It could be tied to a gift bag. But I honestly, girls, I took a couple pictures of it in my Christmas tree. It would make an adorable ornament even to tuck into your Christmas tree. It's so pretty. There's plenty of space on the back. If you wanted to decorate the back with paper, you could put your to and from here. You could put a favorite Christmas verse here. You could put a little message here, whatever it is. I think these are awesome. So this is one way that you could do your tree. Now you could also do this little tree on the front of a card or something like that. So I want to show you something even smaller than that. Speaking of an ornament, I have this cute little, just this little paper mache ornament. And look, I made a little tree on it. Isn't that cute? It's just so easy to do. It's so easy. See, it's kind of dimensional. See kind of the dimension when I turn it from side to side? So cute and easy to do. Let me hold it a little bit closer, see if the camera will kind of zoom in on it here. Isn't that fun? It's just adorable. So the other thing, for those of you out there that are scrapbookers, are there any scrapbookers in the house tonight? If you're a scrapbooker, these look awesome, would be awesome to put on your layouts. So I'm going to show you a layout here. This is one that I shared in my Page Builders Clubhouse. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? There's a couple of different trees on this one. This one's actually a double, so let me show you this one. Oh, can you hear the Christmas music? Okay, good. Hopefully it's not too overpowering. Look at that cute little Christmas tree. They're just so much fun to make. So the other thing I want you to think about is home decor. These would look gorgeous on a canvas, right? Can you kind of picture that in a canvas? Or even with a picture and put in a shadow box, like a shadow box frame. There's just so many different things you could do with these trees. And they are just stunning, beautiful, and the best part about them is they're easy to make. They're easy to make. They don't look it. They don't look it, but I'm going to share some things with you, some tips, and a few little words, which you'll understand in a minute, on how to make these for yourself and how to actually remember to make them. So I'm going to just be building one again on a tag. So here's what I would like for you to do, because I've already kind of done this part, but I mean, this would be easy. Y'all can figure out whatever base you want to put it on. It could be on a canvas. It could be on an ornament, paper mache, scrapbook paper, whatever it is, whatever you want to put it on. I would love it if right now, before we get started, if you happen to have access to your crafty stash, if you'll just go grab a scrap piece of paper, it could even be copy paper, you could even tear a page out of a magazine. I would love for you to have a square. That's all we need is a square, okay? And at this point, it doesn't even matter what the dimensions are, but I would love for you to fold one square with me. And that way you'll have that as a prototype. You'll have a template to help remind you as you fold the others, okay? So what does it take to make this tree? I'm gonna tell you. For the one that fits on the tag, we just need 4 squares. We need one that's 5 by 5, one that's 4 by 4, one that's 3 by 3, and 2 by 2. So 5 by 5, 4 by 4, 3 by 3, 2 by 2. So I'm doing them in 1-inch increments. Now, if you were doing this tree on a card or something smaller like this little guy, like the little ornament here, you might do 1/2-inch increments. But for what I'm doing, for my purposes tonight, I'm doing 1-inch increments. Now, I'm also going to be showing you this, right here, with patterned paper, okay? So I'm going to be showing you a tree also made from patterned paper. They are gorgeous out of patterned paper, okay? So again, I have a 5 by 5, a 4 by 4, a 3 by 3, and a little 2 by 2. Okay, so I'm going to start with the first square. This is my largest square, okay? And I'm going to go ahead and show you with this one first because I think it makes it a little easier. The bigger they are, a little easier to do to start with, okay? So our very first fold, all right? And by the way, again, really needs to be a square. What is a square? Let's talk about that real quick. A square is a shape that's equal on all sides. So each side is the same distance, right? So 5 inches, 5 inches, 5 inches, 5 inches. If it's even the littlest bit off, you're gonna have a kind of a funky fold. It's not gonna turn out quite right. So just remember squares, okay? And I'm gonna give you some fun words to help you remember. It's gonna be the hot dog fold, okay? It's the hot dog fold. The hot dog fold is just folded like this, okay? Just folded just like this. Now, because we want to kind of condition the paper, I'm going to have you also turn it and fold it this way, okay? So I want you to fold it both ways, all right? This is the hot dog fold. You're going to fold it this way and the other way. It just helps condition the fold, okay? I'm sorry, condition the paper, all right? So hot dog's number 1. Second, hamburger. This is the hamburger fold. So we're gonna fold it over like a hamburger and crease it like that and then fold it back this way. Again, we're just conditioning the paper in that fold line, okay? Now, so we did hot dog, hamburger. So when we open it up, we have like a plus sign, okay? I have a fold line going right here and a fold line going right across here, okay? So think about that, that makes a plus sign. So after hot dog hamburger becomes taco, okay? So taco, I'm gonna turn it like a diamond and I'm going to match up the opposite corner to the opposite corner. And I'm gonna fold it just like this. It's gonna make a triangle. And of course, I'm gonna condition the fold. I'm gonna condition the paper the opposite way here. Again, making sure it's lined up, opposite corner to opposite corner. Right? And that's one taco. Now I'm gonna make another taco. So I'm gonna flip it and go the opposite way. This is gonna create an X, okay? It's gonna create fold lines that look like an X on my square, okay? So it's hot dog, hamburger, taco, taco. And I have made so many of these trees, I swear, girls, the last few days, you know, in my groups and then up here, that I'm going to sleep and that's all I'm hearing in my sleep is hot dog, hamburger, taco, taco. Okay, so now when I open up my square, now not only do I have my plus sign here, now I also have an X. So I have this fold line that makes an X, okay? So once I have that, the next thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to hold my paper to where I'm looking at a square. This is really important for the folding process. Make sure, do you see how I'm holding it like a square? Not like a diamond, hold it like a square. And I'm gonna take my two fingers, my two pointer fingers here, and I'm gonna push in these triangles that are on the side. Actually, let me hold it this way. I'm gonna push in these triangles that are on the side. You see, I'm pushing it in. And if you have to, just do one side at a time. And now I'm gonna push in this one, okay? And do you see what that gives me? Do you see how it's I'll kind of turn it on its edge. Do you see how that triangle now is inside there and this one's inside here? That's kind of what it looks like. That's probably a good view right there, okay? Do you see how those are going inward? You know what this reminds me of? It reminds me of like junior high and those little things that you put your fingers in and you turned them and you put numbers on them and it meant like how many babies you were gonna have, where you were gonna live, what movie star you were gonna marry. You remember that? All right, so that's what it's gonna look like. Taco, taco, and then we're folding in, we're looking at a square and we're popping in those side triangles, okay? So the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to do this while it's looking at you. I'm gonna take this triangle that's right here in the front. Let me just fold it real quick. I gotta sit it down to fold it. Okay, so I'm taking it from here and I'm folding it straight down. So do you see this line kind of goes straight down through the middle? And I'm gonna do the same thing now with this side. And it looks kind of like an airplane. See that? So let me unfold it. So that's what it was before. And then I folded this side into the middle and this side into the middle. So they're kind of lined up, going straight down. Everybody got that? That is the layer for your tree. You did it. If you did this along with me, you just made a layer for your tree. Okay? So now I just want you to put that one to the side and we're gonna go to the next square. Okay? We're gonna do it all over again. I'm gonna take now my next smaller square. And again, I'm gonna walk through the mantra. Ready? Hot dog. And I'm gonna fold it back the opposite way too. Hot dog. Next thing is hamburger. Hamburger. I know it's silly, but it's gonna help you remember. I promise. All right, hot dog, hamburger. Then I'm gonna open it up and I have my plus sign, right? I'm opening it up. Now it's taco, taco. So I'm gonna match up opposite corners to opposite corners. And I'm doing the taco. Elizabeth, are you doing this too? And I'm gonna fold it the other way, just to reinforce that fold, just to condition the paper. Now I've got one taco, so I'm gonna turn it and now do it the opposite way. So this is what this is doing, is giving me an X. I hope it's not confusing by doing that second fold, but I promise it helps everything go together if you'll do it, especially when we do the scrapbooking paper, the pattern paper, because it's thicker. All right, so now then I have the plus sign and I have the X fold lines. So what am I gonna do next? I'm going to hold it like a square. Remember, hold it like a square. I'm gonna take my fingers right here and I'm gonna pop in. You see, I'm pushing it in. I'm pushing that in and I'm gonna do it on the other side too. Do it one at a time if it's hard to do it once. Okay, and that gives me this step, or this part, this piece. Whatever I'm trying to say. So now that we have that, then we just have to come in and do that little fold on the front. We're only folding the front triangle, both sides coming inward. So let me show you that. So again, it looked like this, and now I folded this one in and this one in, and now I have a second layer. All right? Okay, let's do it again. Ready? I'm gonna go a little faster this time. All right, hot dog. Yeah, a banner would be so cute. After hot dog comes hamburger. Y'all saying it out loud? Your husbands, your kids are gonna be like, what are you doing? Hot dog, hamburger. Open it up to see the plus sign. Okay, and then turn it like this for taco, taco. So here, let me make my first taco going this way. And now I'm gonna open it up and I'm gonna do the taco going the other way. All right, here we go. I'm looking at the square. I have my fingers right here on these lines. That is the line that's gonna get tucked inside. And like I said, if you need to do this one side at a time, you most definitely can. I'm sorry, I know it's kind of hard to see what my fingers are doing. So I've got that one tucked in. And now I'm gonna tuck in this one. Okay, just like that. Once you get to this part, then just take the front, the very front triangle there, not the back one, and just line it up, kind of going right down the middle. Okay, and then we're gonna do the same thing with this side. And I call this the airplane. It looks like an airplane. Look, it looks like a little jet, like I'm about to send it off. So we're kind of making it look like an airplane like that. All right. So now I'm down to my 2x2. And I will tell you that I think the smaller ones are a little more tricky. Just because they're smaller, and you know, we have big fat fingers, and then we have this little bitty small piece of paper, but you can do it. If I can do it, you can do it, okay? So I'm doing hot dog. Now I'm gonna do hamburger. I'm gonna go faster. Hamburger. I'm gonna open it up and do taco. And turn it the other way for the other taco. Taco, taco. Okay. Oh, I lost my Christmas music. I don't know what happened. Okay, so now, again, I'm looking at the square. Okay, I'm looking at the square, and I'm going to pop in those side pieces. And if, like I said, if you need to do it one side at a time, do it one side at a time. Okay? Got it? You like the names? Silly names like that will help you remember, I promise. We use those fold names a lot up here in class. So, and now I'm going to turn it into an airplane. Folding those. All right, I've just done all 4 of my hymnal pages, okay? So I'm going to go ahead now and do, before I actually build the tree, I'm going to go ahead and do my scrapbooking paper ones too. With scrapbooking pattern paper, a lot of times your paper is double-sided, but honestly for these trees, it does not have to be. So if you have a lot of single-sided paper is fine. Obviously, I love hymnal pages, so I'm using hymnal pages. Let's say it's a travel page and you went to the mountains. You could make these trees out of maps, right? Book pages. You can make them out of anything. It's fabulous, okay? So it does not have to be double-sided, but it's nice to be double-sided just because it gives you options on the pattern, but it doesn't have to be. So I'm going to start with this one. Now with the scrapbooking paper, it is thicker, right? So we really have to kind of crease that fold. We're doing hot dog first, and I'm going to go backwards now, right? I'm just kind of there we go. I just like conditioning the paper, conditioning that fold. So hot dog, and now I'm going to do hamburger. The other thing that you'll see will happen sometimes with patterned paper is it cracks, okay? Because you're really pushing, you know, it can crack and you can see those white edges, but I like the white edges, and I'm going to show you what I'm going to do to them here in just a second. So there's my hamburger. So I did hot dog, hamburger. I'm going to open it up, and now I'm going to go taco, taco. So taco is opposite corner to opposite corner. Whoops, I got a little bit off there. Well, that's okay. I'll show y'all what we'll do for that. And then, again, want to condition that fold. Trust me, that conditioning the paper for that fold really helps. And now I'm going to turn it the other way so that I get an X on my fold lines for the second taco. Okay, there we go. Okay, so now then I have, again, I don't know if you can see it with all the dots, but I have my plus sign and I have my X. Okay, X marks the spot. So now, again, I'm going to put my fingers, look at it as a square. I'm going to have my fingers right here, and I'm pushing them in those sides, okay? Pushing them in to get this piece. And then I gotta lay it down for these to really press them out well when I make the airplane, okay? So let me press these out and then I'll hold it up and show. Okay, so there is my little airplane. So it was like this, and then I pressed this one down to the center and this one down to the center. So this is a layer of my tree. Now, I don't know if you can see where it started to crack and it's turning white. Okay, this is my favorite thing to do, especially with scrapbook paper. I'm just taking a little piece of sandpaper, like a gritty sandpaper. You might have a sanding block or a sanding file. You can use any of that. I just like to just grab a piece of sandpaper. I'm gonna actually grab sandpaper and I'm gonna go in and distress all the edges of these folds. And it's gonna expose the white core of the paper. Let me get it done real quick so you can see. And it almost makes my tree look kind of frosted. I love it. And then these, I like to kind of fold it inside like this to get these folds. Don't try to distress it before you fold it because you'll never be able to figure out, you know, what all's gonna show and all that stuff. It's just easier to do it after you folded it all. Okay, so look, do you see all the white? Do you see all the distress? I'll kind of try to hold it still so the camera can kind of focus on it. I love that. I love that. I love that. Now, if ever you get this happening, do you see where that red is showing? That's where I got my fold off just a little bit. I'm sorry, it's showing right there and it's showing right there. That's easy to take care of. Just grab your scissors and just trim that off. So don't go back in and cut a whole new piece of paper or anything like that. Just go in and trim that off. Honestly, it really doesn't bother me. I would have just left it, but I know there's some ladies out there right now that would totally drive them crazy. So you can go in and just trim them off, all right? But you can sand these as much as you want. You can make them look really, really distressed. And I think it's just a beautiful look. And I'm gonna show you because I really, really distressed this one on the layout. Can you see that? Everywhere where you're seeing those white scruffy marks, that's where I distressed with the sandpaper. Looks so good. Yes, I love it. I love it. All right, so there we go. I've got one layer. All right, I'm moving right along. I need to speed up the process here. Okay, so this is gonna be the next layer of my tree. And the reason I wanted to show you a pattern paper tree is because they don't have to be all green. I know this one is, right? I know this is just all different pattern papers, just scraps really. I just pulled from scraps that were all green and made a cute tree. But this one's gonna be more colorful. So this one's gonna have some red layers in it and some plaid layers in it. And I just wanna show you because I want you to let all the papers play in the stash. All right. Okay, so I did my hot dog fold. I'm gonna turn it back this way. All right, and now I'm gonna do my hamburger fold. I'm gonna fold it over this way. You could use a bone folder if you have one or wanted to use one, but I don't usually, not on this. I just use my fingers. If you have good nails, you can use your nails or whatever. All right, so I have hot dog hamburger. That gives me my plus sign, okay? Now I'm gonna do taco taco. So I'm turning it to match up the opposite corners. Match them up. Everything should match up because you cut a square, okay? If you didn't cut a square, you'd be having some trouble right now. You'd be having what I call creative heartburn. I'm doing my other taco. Remember, we have to do 2 tacos because we need an X. All right, and here we go. I have my plus sign, I have my X. I'm gonna look at it like a square. My 2 pointer fingers are right here on these lines, and I'm popping them inside. Just popping them inside. If you have trouble doing this at the same time, just do one side at a time. Okay, there we go. And now I'm gonna do my airplane fold. Okay, there's my little airplane. So I'm gonna take my sandpaper now, and I'm really gonna scruff it up. Oh, you can really see it on this red. That's pretty. How many of you have snow right now? I've had a few people sending me snow pictures. We don't get much snow here. Okay, everywhere where you see white, look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? And I just love that. I love seeing all that. And see, it's pretty dimensional. It's going to kind of flare out a little bit like that. Love the sanding. Y'all try that. Some people can't stand the sound of sandpaper, like that scratchy sound. And if you can't stand that, but you want to do something to the edges, you can ink them. So you could actually take an ink pad. We like to use chalk inks here on our papers. These are from Quick Quotes. And you could ink all those edges and folds if you prefer. So my next layer of my tree is going to be this pretty plaid. Do my hot dog fold. I'm going to turn it over the other way just to condition the paper, right? So I have a hot dog, and now I'm going to do hamburger. You guys are going to go to sleep too tonight saying hot dog, hamburger, taco, taco. Make sure you do at least one square because that's going to help you. There's my hamburger. It's going to help you to remember if you have a little one that can just be your sample, just your prototype. So now I'm going to turn it, and I'm going to do my taco, taco fold, which is opposite corner. To opposite corner. Some people call this a bandana fold. I like to call it a taco fold. And then, so I've got it going one way, so now I need to make sure I've got it going the other way. Okay, so now I have a square, so I have my X. And again, I'm going to pop these sides in. Everybody getting the hang of it? Hope you went and grabbed a square piece of paper, trimmed out a square piece of paper real quick to do this. All right. Okay, so there we go. I have my airplane fold, and that means I'm going to grab my sandpaper again. Is the sandpaper necessary? No, it's just because I like it. I just like it. You don't have to. You could leave it just plain. You don't have to ink it. You don't have to do anything to it at all. I just like the extra little oomph that it adds, and I just wanted y'all to see it. Okay, let me open it up here. Okay, there we go. And I only have one more layer. It's the little bitty 2x2, and I gotta decide, I think I'm gonna do it on this poinsettia side. So this poinsettia is actually gonna be the top layer of my tree. So again, hot dog. Hot dog, hot dog. Hamburger. Fold it back both ways. I'm gonna open it up. Taco, taco is next. These little ones, it's kind of hard. My fingers are kind of fat. So taco, taco, and then the opposite way so that we get an X. Gotta have an X. Okay, so I've got that part done. So again, now I'm looking at it like a square, and usually with the small one, I have to do like one side at a time because it's just hard to kind of squeeze down in there. What are the measurements of the squares? Tina's asking. For this particular one, for this tag, which is this size tree right here, I did 5x5, 4x4, 3x3, and 2x2, okay? All right, so let me sand this little one, and then, oh, I forgot to do the airplane fold. Let me do that real quick. Okay, I did my little airplane fold, so it looks like a little mini airplane. Okay, so now I have them all sanded out. Everything looks good here. Now it's time for us to build the tree. It's my favorite part. Okay, so there is another important element that you're gonna need for your tree. Our trees are gonna need a trunk, okay? So I just cut, this is 1 inch by 2 inch, okay? These are double-sided, like a plaid and a dot on each side. So we need a brown trunk. So again, this could be just scrap papers, whatever you need just for your trunk. And that's a 1 by 2. But you could have a skinny trunk or skinny trunk or a fat trunk, whatever size that you want, okay? All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and show you now how the tree is all gonna go together, okay? And this is really fun. It's fun to do. Make sure that if you're making your own tag, okay, like if you're making a tag out of just cardstock or something, I want you to go ahead and nip the corners if you haven't already, if you want to, and punch a hole here in the center. We need to make sure that hole is in there because we're gonna actually be building the tree from the top to the bottom, and I'll explain why here in just a second. But we need that hole there because every tree, especially if it's going to be a Christmas tree, it needs a topper, right? So I have a couple of different things just to show you. You could just use like a little wood star. This is just a white star. This is a silver snowflake. I mean, it could be a button, it could be a jewel, whatever you want to use to top your tree, okay? So I'm going to be using some Scotch tacky glue to put the whole tree together. I like using glue because I have a little bit of time to kind of maneuver it around, and it's easier to apply than trying to run like your tape runner, okay? I have a little pink tip on the top of my glue here. I don't know if you can see that. This is called a precision tip, and I love it. So I'll put my finger in front of it so you can see. Do you see that little tiny metal tip? It is great because it can give me just the most precise little teeny amount of glue. Love these. So the precision tips are sold separate from the Scotch. It's a totally different company that makes these, but they just screw right onto the bottle, the big bottle and the small bottle, and they're great. Great. They work so well. This tag is 3 3/4 wide, 3 3/4 wide by 6 3/4 inch tall, okay? So 3 3/4, which is 3 3/4 by 6 3/4, 6 3/4, okay? And you can make your tag whatever size you want. I mean, it's gonna hang over. You can see with these squares, it's gonna hang over just a little bit, but I like that. Looks like it's kind of growing off the tag. Okay, so let's get busy and build this tree. I'm going to build the paper pattern tree because I already have one that looks like the hymnal page to show you, so I'm going to go with the paper. So the first thing I'm going to be gluing down is actually my tree topper, which in this instance, I'm going to use a white wooden star, okay? So I'm gluing this right underneath the hole of the tag, right? The hole that I made, because if it's going to be on a tag, I'm going to want to put some cute ribbon through there, right? I want to finish it off nice and cute. So there is my star. The other thing I should have told y'all about this, about the Scotch tacky glue, you can use it for wood, paper, all kinds of things. It works very, very well. It's a fast grab and it dries totally clear, which is nice. So if you do ooze out a little bit, you don't have to worry. It's going to dry completely clear, okay? So, next step is going to be the top, the very top one, which is the teeniest one, the teeniest little airplane, okay? So, I'm gonna now take this very top layer of my tree here, and I'm gonna glue it on right underneath the star. Can you see that? Okay. I also want to show you this. Do you see how it kind of opens up here, almost like a little pocket? So the only place I'm putting glue is that base triangle, nothing up here at the top, at least not yet, okay? So now I'm gonna move on to the next layer. This was the 2 by 2. Now I'm moving to the 3 by 3. I wanna show you what's gonna happen. This piece now is gonna slide into that pocket. Okay, can you see? It's just, the airplane's kind of sliding right into that pocket. And then the next piece is gonna slide into that pocket. And the next piece is gonna slide into that pocket. And it's good sometimes to actually do all of the, like lay it all out so that you can see, you can position it, because if you need it to be a little shorter, then you're gonna squeeze them in, just push them in a little bit more, okay? Because we still want our trunk to show, which means, let me show you where the trunk, I'm gonna try to hold all this up without it falling, okay? Which means the trunk is gonna go in last. So we want those final points at the bottom where it can show, okay? All right, so let me lay it down because I really need to kind of look at it here. And again, I'm only gluing on this back triangle, just kind of a little quick little line of glue. You can see it doesn't take much glue at all. I'm gonna slide that one into this one. And then you can kind of know if you're lining it up by that line, you know, the last little fold that we made, the little airplane fold. This line right here kind of going down the center, that kind of helps you to line them up too. Kind of line up those lines right there, okay? You love the mixed media? I do too. So guess what I could do? I could actually mix hymnal pages in with the patterned paper tree too. I could actually do both. I could have it going both ways if I wanted to. Wonder if I should do that. Should I do that? What do y'all say? Yes? Yes? No? Okay, do you know what I'm saying? Like I could mix this one in. I think I will, just for grins. I'm gonna do it. I'll save that other one for another tree. Okay, so I'm gonna stick in a hymnal page this time. That's gonna look so pretty on this red too. All right, I did it. Isn't that cute? Isn't it the funniest things that excite us as crafters? All right, so now my last one, and I'm gonna kind of look at how everything is lining up. Look how pretty is my tree. Oh my gosh, I love it. Okay, so he still needs his little trunk, and the trunk is gonna kind of go inside too. It's gonna slide inside as well. So, oh, let me sand my trunk here. Actually, let me do the plaid. I'm gonna do the plaid side. So let me sand it so I can have that white kind of shining around, or you could ink it, whatever you want to do. And now I'm going to slide that in right here. Kind of look, I think I need to scoot him over just a little bit. Okay, there's my trunk. Isn't it cute? Okay, so now we have a decision to make, all right? Now, if this were the hymnal pages, I just want to show you, on the hymnal pages, you'll see that paper's a lot thinner, so it stays a little bit more controlled. It accepts the folds better, right? But on these scrapbooking papers, I'm going to turn it on its side so you can see. Do you see it's really trying to fly away? Now, this is pretty, and you may even want to keep it this dimensional, but if you don't, this is what you're going to do. And typically I would do this with hot glue, but I don't have hot glue over here with me, so I'm just going to use the tacky glue again. I'm going to go in now on just these tips, just the tips, nowhere else, just the tips. And I'm going to glue the tips down, okay? Just the tips, so it doesn't look like he's just about to fly away. Just a little tiny bit of glue on the tips. That's the only place, because I still want it to be puffy and dimensional, okay? So I'm gonna hold this in place just for a second. Typically just a little dot of hot glue, that'll make it really fast because, so again, I'm only putting it, see like these two little tips? Just right there on those tips. That's the only place I'm gonna put it because I still want that poof. I want that dimension. That was the whole point of doing all these fun little folds and stuff. I don't want a flat tree. So I'm doing it on the next layer. Just gotta hold it for a second. I love this fast grab of the glue, so nice. And you don't burn yourself, which is another advantage. Okay, almost done, almost done. All right, let's see if it's gonna hold. Oh, he just popped up on me. Let me put a little bit more glue on this teeny one right here. Stay. Okay, here we go. There's my tree. Now I'm going to turn it over, so I'm hoping that you can pick it up, but on camera, but it still has dimension. It's just not flying away on me, okay? So it almost looks very quilted in a way, okay? Very padded, very quilted, so pretty. Isn't that awesome? I love it with all the different patterns and stuff. I think that looks just so good. So I want to show you another one that I did. Of course, the hymnal one. This is one I haven't showed you yet because I want you to think about these not only as Christmas trees, right? Especially for those of you that document your memories and you do mini books or layouts or things like that. But look how cute this tree is. This is all just the red and black check, just like my scarf, and match it on just a wood grain piece. Isn't that cute? And see how pretty it looks all sanded? I think it looks so cute. So I plan on putting some of my cabinet pictures, building out a layout with this on here. And I just think that looks so good. So I just want y'all to think about these in all kinds of ways, because you could do them and use them in lots of different ways. So there's one more thing that we could add. What do you think we should add? Come on, girls. You know what we should add. Let me find it. How about if we add a little sparkle? What do you think? You think it needs some sparkle? Okay, yes, ribbon, of course. Yes, we need to add some ribbon to the top. But if you want any part of your tree to sparkle, we can use stickles for that. Stickles is like a glitter glue, and I love the clears. This one I think is diamond. So I'm going to put a little bit of stickles right here on my star. But I can also put it along the edges of my tree. And there's a couple different ways you can do this. Like on my star, I'm just taking it right from the tip. I don't know, can y'all even see that? Can you see the sparkle at all? I think you can, maybe a little bit. It's hard to tell. So this is what I like to do, is I will come in and just kind of drag it. It's almost like you're squeezing it, but then you're dragging it out with the tip. And I'm gonna put it along all the edges. You can even use a paintbrush for this if you want to. Let me get it all on here and then I'll show you. I'm sure hoping it's gonna show up on camera. I love making things sparkle, especially if it's a Christmas tree, right? So I'm just kind of putting it around the edges. I don't know if you can see it. Can y'all see it at all? I can't tell from my angle if you can see it or not, but I'm stickling. So you could even go in and literally paint. I mean, you could put it over like the hymnal pages. All of these could totally glisten. Like you could just come in and let me just kind of squeeze some out. I'm going to squeeze some kind of all over the whole tree. I think everything should sparkle at Christmas. I even think putting jingle bells on the tags would be so cute. So now I'm just taking a paintbrush and I'm kind of pouncing it all over the page so that my hymnal pages now are sparkly. Love it. Let's see if that one will show up. That one show up? Maybe? Maybe? Maybe not. I don't know that you can see it. I can see it though, and it's really pretty. So if you like to add some sparkle, you can go in and add some sparkle. And of course, some pretty ribbon at the top, a cute little hanger, however else you want to do these. You could even put cute little pom-pom fringe on the bottom, or, I mean, the sky's the limit. You guys can deck these out, you know, however you like. By the way, let's go back to this tree real quick. Do you see how this tree has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 layers? Well, then this tree actually started with a 6x6, and then a 5x5, and a 4x4, and a 3x3, and a 2x2. And you can, depending on how much you nestle them into each other, will give you a shorter, fatter tree or a taller tree, right? So you can actually, depending on how many layers you use, plus how much you nestle them into each other, determines the look of your tree, which is really fun. So I'm excited about that. So again, let's say this one more time. If you're going to do a tree like this on a tag, okay, the green layer right here is 5x5. This next layer is 4x4, 3x3, and 2x2, okay? And your mantra, hot dog, hamburger, taco, taco. They're so much fun to make. They're so much fun to make. There's the big one again. So pretty. If you want to do all greens and really make a pretty green Christmas tree. There's my little ornament. Again, this is just a plain old paper mache ornament that I covered with music paper, and then I painted some pretty cool gold stuff on it. This one has stickles on it too. Just, can you see the stickles kind of sparkling? And this one I just used a pretty little snowflake jewel, kind of a jeweled snowflake at the top. Isn't that cute? Okay. And then, of course, our tags, which are just so much fun. So I just want to thank y'all for watching. I hope that you loved this technique. So thank you so much for watching tonight as we crafted here at the Little Blue House. And I would love for you to follow me if you want to see more fun Christmas crafts, and of course all kinds of other crafting and creativity that I love to share here. So thanks again for watching. I appreciate y'all. Thank you for all the sweet comments. All right. Merry Christmas, everybody. Bye-bye.